I started to paint, I sort of realised that it was a part of like a meditative process. But it was a good way to learn my culture and to understand what our dream time was all about and how that was incorporated into our visual arts as well as our performing arts, because they're all linked: music, dance, and song, and storytelling. And it was a way of regaining some of my identity in a way as an Aboriginal man. The whole idea of dot paintings, even the use of a stick is all contemporary. So it's a modern way of painting, because traditionally we only did sand paintings and rock paintings, and also on our body, of course, we were painting. But the whole idea of dots is a bit of a misnomer. It's actually three-dimensional shape. And when we did our sand paintings, the sand paintings are the original genesis of dot paintings, because when our way of looking at the world is an aerial view. So when we look down on the painting, on the sand painting, it looks two-dimensional. But when you shift the angle, you'll see that it's actually a three-dimensional shape, that actually a pile. It's a way of me presenting storylines to people who don't understand the dream time. But the dream time was something that captured my mind, and I tried to understand what that was all about, and how to then encapsulate that dreaming story on canvas, in a way that was understood by many, many different cultures. A lot of my inspiration is exploring concepts rather than actual places or things. So the dream time is a concept, and so it's a way of exploring things like fractal geometry, which is part of the chaos theory, which is the way I paint, because in chaos there's perfect order. Exploring the inner psyche of what art and how art can actually reflect on you and change you as a person. A scientist who understood space told me that my paintings looked like the universe. And then when I spoke to a botanist, he said it looked like all the seeds and flowers. And then when I spoke to a doctor, he said it looked like the cell structures. And then when I spoke to my surfing mates, they said it was the coral reefs. Originally, when I first started painting, I could only paint in earth colours. My first 500 paintings, you don't see any lines, and you don't see any blue. And then after that, once my family told me that I have a story called Blue Lightning, and that one of my stories was also Rainbow Dreaming, so then I was able to incorporate the blue into my paintings, because our understanding of blue in Aboriginal culture is that that colour belongs to God, and in humans we only use earth colours. But as part of our revival and renaissance in Aboriginal culture, we're able to utilise the colours of the rainbow. When I first start, I create a whole range of hidden shapes, and then what I do is I accentuate those hidden shapes, and I bring the hidden shapes out rather than the obvious shapes that you see. When you look at the Milky Way, everybody looks at the Milky Way and they see the stars, but there's a hidden black shape where there's an absence of light, and that absence of light is actually the emu. And that emu is a keeper of our law and culture. The Milky Way Dreaming is a story that comes from the Aranda people, which is my mother's family, and the Luritja people. The Luritja are my father's family. It's a story that tells of us of our ancestors, and also our belief in our Creator. When we pass away, our soul goes to heaven, and the Milky Way is heaven. It's a way of viewing our ancestors. So when we look up into the sky, we can always see that our ancestors are always looking down on us. To really understand my secrets, you really have to explore my paintings. And then once you start to explore my paintings, you actually explore yourself.